Okay. So in this session, we are going to discuss about one important topic called as nested structure. Okay. So we know what exactly a nested looping is, right? A loop which is defined inside another loop is known as nested loop. So similarly, nested structure is nothing but when we define a structure inside another structure. Okay. Yes, that is possible, and that concept is known as nested structure. So here is a kind of syntax for define a nested structure. As you can see, the outer structure, there is one outer structure, and there are certain data elements of for outer structure, and there is one more element which is a structure itself. So can I say that this particular structure has three elements: first, second, and this thing, right? So what we are doing here is we are defining this highlighted structure inside outer structure, right? So this thing is known as outer structure, this whole thing is known as outer structure, and this is known as inner structure. Okay. So let us discuss about the syntax. Struct is a keyword followed by the name of the outer structure. If if there are any element for outer structure, then define those elements over here. Create a inner structure. We are not specifying the name over here. As you can see, we are not specifying the name of internal structure here. So we are defining it after the curly bracket or after the termination of inner structure. So in this way we are going to create outer structure and inner structure. Now we'll discuss how to access the element in such scenarios. Chalo. If I want to access this particular element which is defined inside an outer structure, then in that case we need to create a structure variable. Obviously, in that case, we'll create a structure variable. So structure variable is created by struct followed by outer name of the outer struct name, and then using dot operator we can put some value in it, right? We can put some value. So in this way, you will access the element of outer structure. Okay. So I'm accessing data 1 and data 2. But now, how to access data 3? Okay. So what for that? uh, by the way, this is also possible, but we are not comfortable with this concept. So what we'll do, we'll simply write name of outer structure and then struct variable. Struct variable. So in this way, I'm creating a struct variable, and now struct var dot data 1 is equal to value. Okay. So similarly, struct struct var 1 dot struct var dot data 2. Okay. So in this way, we are putting some values in data 1 and data 2. Now, the question is how to access data 3 and data 4. So in order to access data 3 and data 4, first you have to access this particular thing using the structure variable of outer structure. Okay. So how to write that? We'll write struct in order to put some values in data 3. How I'm going to write is struct var space name of internal structure dot name of internal structure, then name of internal structure dot, say suppose data 3 is equal to some value. So in this way I can access the data 3. So this in this way we can access the data which is stored inside a internal structure. So in order to access the data element of internal structure, we have to access this particular name using a structure variable of outer structure. So as you can see, this is kind of my hierarchy, like structure variable dot name of internal structure dot data 3 is equal to value. Similarly, if I want to put certain value inside of data 4, then again I will write this. Okay. So in this way, we can access the elements which of outer structures and inner structures. We'll see one example over here. Now, one example is mentioned. As you can see, the name of outer structure is what? Circle. So name of the outer structure is circle. It has one, by the way, it has total two elements, radius, and now it has inner structure too. So, uh, so I have one variable called as radius, which is defined inside a outer structure. And then there is an inner structure having two elements called as x and y. And the name of the inner structure is center. Okay. No, now, if I want to access or if I want to put some value for radius, what I will do, I will create a structure variable for circle. So as you can see in the main method, I have created a structure variable of circle called as C1. So using C1, you can access only this particular data. Okay. So in order to access this data, you have to access the name of inner structure variable, inner structure. Okay, so we'll first access the radius, which is defined inside a outer structure. Okay, so as you can see, I'm taking the input from user and the format specifier, as you can see, it is %f because the data type is float and c1 dot radius. So I'm writing c1 dot radius. Okay, this thing you know. Now we'll discuss how to take an input for x x value. Now, as you can see, enter the value of x. Again, the format specifier is %f because your x is a float value. Now, I'm accessing a value, or I can say I'm accessing a variable x by writing some hierarchy. Like first, write the name of the structure variable. As you can see the syntax, you can compare it with the syntax. Okay. Look at this. Structure variable dot name of the internal structure dot data 3. So as you can see, name of the structure variable dot name of the internal structure and dot variable name. So in this way, we can access the internal structure elements. Okay. Similarly, I'm taking the input for y as y is again defined inside inner structure. Then in order to access x, we need to write this hierarchy. Okay, so likewise, we can print the values for radius, x and y coordinates. So your radius, now I'm printing the values which is stored inside radius, x and y. As you can see, c1 dot radius, I'm printing the value of c1 dot radius, and again the format specifier is %f because your radius is of float data type. And in order to print the values of x and y, I need to write a hierarchy. So I'm writing a hierarchy over here, c1 dot center dot x. This center is nothing but my name of internal structure. As you can see, this is the name of internal structure. Okay, so in order to access any values which are defined inside an internal structure, first we need to access the name of internal structure with structure variable of outer structure dot name of internal structure, and then again dot and followed by the date element name. So in this way, I'm accessing the internal structure. So if you have any doubt, then do comment.